Good chilly morning.
Good morning.
Woo! We are in Marceline, Missouri.
Yeah.
And we are freezing our butts off. It's like 42 degrees out here. Ugh. We are on the, what's it called? The mini Autopia?
The midget Autopia.
Oh, the midget Autopia. This is, Walt and Roy Disney gifted this to the city of Marceline, because this is where Walt Disney and Roy Disney spent part of their childhood, back in 1966. They used to run the little cars. These used to be in Disneyland.
Yeah.
But in the 70s, they tore this out, and now they put it back. Although they don't run cars in here anymore. I do think they have a car in the museum. We're gonna go in there and check it out pretty soon because we're freezing. But now you can walk. This is where the original track was. And like I said, this was in Disneyland. This attraction was in Disneyland, and when they built It's a Small World, see that sign? That's where I got all this from. They gifted this to the city of Marceline, and they ran this for like 11 years. But now they've recreated it. So we're walking on it.
Yes, we are.
Yes, briskly, because we're cold.
Yes.
And then we're gonna check out this little park before we go inside. There's trains and stuff, because this is a train town. And then we're gonna go in the museum and warm up.
Yeah.
Woo!
Okay.
Okay, we're going. This is the most exciting thing I've ever done. But it is historical. Jen's way ahead of me now. She's winning. Only because I stopped to take B-roll.
No, it's because I'm cold. I'm cold. That's why I'm winning. I'm cold. I'm walking fast. Goodbye.
So it's a cool little park. They have the big locomotive behind me. They have a caboose over here. They have fountains. They have that lake. They have an old, whatever they call those things? Grandstand? No, not a grandstand.
Gazebo.
Yeah, it's like a gazebo. You know, like they used to have them all the towns, you know. The band would play and whatever.
And the politicians would come up and give their speech.
Yeah. It's all closed right now, but this looks like they sell stuff in the summer. Not now, because it's like Alaska up here. We didn't come here for this park. Nope. I mean, we wanted to see the midget Autopia and stuff, but and the trains, they're cool. But we want to see the museum. So that's where we're headed now. All right, we just went into the museum and wandered around. No video in there, so that's why you don't see any video of in there. But we did shoot a lot of stills, so you'll get a musical montage, or maybe you already have, and you noticed that it wasn't very dynamic. But we got a ton of stills out of there. It was a really great museum. I mean, definitely not as large as the Family Museum in San Francisco, but still focuses on Walt's time here in Marceline more, which you'd expect, right?
Yeah, and honestly, the desk that he engraved his name on, and he didn't remember doing it, but he did it twice when he went to school here, is here upstairs, so that was amazing to see the desk. And
there's also some models built by a guy. Walt Disney sent him the original Disneyland blueprints, and he built a bunch of models out of household stuff.
Yeah.
And then they have the one of Tom Sawyer Island that he passed away while he was in the middle of building it. But they're awesome little models of parts of Disneyland.
My favorite thing, I'm going to try and say this or not, Walt's original Dreaming Tree fell down in 2015, and they kept a branch of it and they preserved it and they allow you to touch it, so it was cool.
Yep, so we both put our hands on that. That was pretty cool.
We did.
So now I think we're going down Main Street. I don't think you'll get a whole lot of video from there because it's windy and it's freezing still. And then we're gonna go over to the barn, and I think that's it. That we're gonna do. I mean, we might do some other stuff, but that's all the stuff we're gonna film today.
Yeah.
But we'll go down to Main Street just because that's Main Street USA is based, at least in part.
Yeah.
Some of the other Imagineers, their childhoods were also incorporated, but they actually have a display up there, and it shows exactly what buildings on Main Street were inspired by the buildings here. I don't know if they're all here still or if they look the same, and I don't know what they are, so we're not one of those channels. We're not going to go give you a tour of all of that, but
I'm sure Justin Scard has done that on his channel, so you guys can go check it out if you really want to know the history, because that's what he does. He does all the history.
This inspired Disneyland, the farm animals in a lot of his early cartoons, the outdoor stuff, the Main Street trains.
I heard his uncle actually worked for the railroad here, and his uncle would do a special whistle, and Walt would run to meet the train, and he'd pick him up, and then Walt would ride the last mile into town to this very building. When he was a kid, that was one of his favorite things to do. So that was an amazing thing, which explains why he had such a love of trains too.
So we are going to leave the museum, go downtown for a little bit, and then we'll head over to the barn and the Dreaming Tree. We're going to go over there and check that out, but right now we're going to get in the Jeep and get warm. All right, we made a quick stop. We're right across from the park with the trains and stuff. This is the Marceline post office, but back in the day after Walt Disney died, people demanded that the post office issue a Walt Disney stamp, which they did. From this little post office, not a big one. The little sign down here, see the little sign? It says they originally ordered 120,000 stamps, but because of the unusual demand, they had to actually print 153 million stamps.
Yep.
153 million. Anyway, this is that post office where they did that from. And you can see over here, they have a little plaque commemorating such. Walt Disney, Marceline's favorite son. The stamp was issued from this post office in 1968. So we're down here on Main Street, Nome, Alaska. It just feels like that. Anyway, this building here and that building there, we know, inspired specific things at Disneyland on Main Street.
As well as this clock.
Oh, and this clock. This clock is actually reproduced. And then it says right here, see, it says Main Street USA up there. And that little sign. Really cool there. I mean, this does look, you know, I mean, it's not as fancy as Disneyland, but...
No, but it definitely, you can see the inspiration, especially these two buildings for sure. You can see the inspiration.
But, you know, you can see all the old Midwestern kind of turn of the century style architecture, lots of brick, all the fancy, you know, stuff they do on the top they don't do anymore. We're gonna walk down here a little ways, check things out, shoot some B-roll, and then I don't know if they find some people in a block of ice, let them know it's us. Let them know. We would appreciate that. There's the Coke wall. They reproduced this. Well, they painted over the old one at some point. But this was an original, you know, old-timey Coke painting mural billboard thing. And Coke actually sent out their Christmas cards one year with this on it. They had those in the museum. So it's kind of cool.
Did you see what it says though? Furniture and undertaking.
Furniture and undertaking.
Multitasking, I tell ya.
As long as you're building furniture, you know, you might as well build some caskets. Like, what the heck, right? Oh, that's so sad.
So sad.
So sad. Oh, there goes another train. Oh, that's an Amtrak this time.
So in the museum, they said over 72 trains run through Marceline every day.
Yep. That's crazy.
And
cool. They've been running by. There were times in the museum, it's like, oh, see, here comes another one. Here comes a regular freight. The whole time we've been here, you can hear trains all day. It's crazy. I guess you just get used to it if you live here. I suppose. I don't know. All right, now we're gonna walk down. There's another mural or billboard or whatever somewhere. We don't know where though. We have to go find it. I remember this when our favorite YouTuber Justin Scard came. I remember him pointing these buildings. You can see the really ornate on top of the pink building, and then you can kind of see up there, but you know all these arches and stuff have been filled in with wood. In fact, the building we're standing in front of, see those, the windows have been covered up. And I know a lot of these buildings, the architectural stuff has been changed. Like, I'm pretty sure that they didn't have those tiles up there originally. They probably had a ornate like on the other building. It's kind of sad that all those architectural things, but that's life. Things happen, things fall off, things get old, things are made out of wood and metal that rusts, and they fix it. So that's life. So here's the other. This is not an old advertisement. This is just a mural. Main Street. That's Marceline's Main Street, not. But you can see like the Chevrolet dealer up there, and then it's got the quote from Walt Disney, basically saying that more significant stuff happened to him here than anywhere. But yeah, it's just like a little representation of the town, and it's fairly modern because they have the Casey's General Store, which is like a modern gas convenience store.
There's hidden Mickeys though.
Oh, hidden Mickeys. So we're gonna look for hidden Mickeys. So we were down there at the mural, and just a local guy stopped and was like, "Hey, you want me to take your picture?" I always stop when I see people out here.
Yeah.
So they can get a picture of themselves in front of it. And then we were talking with him, and he was about to get in his truck. 2 other girls showed up. He got back out. Now he's taking their picture.
And the gentleman who painted it actually painted it this year in 2019, and he's actually a country music singer in Nashville.
Yeah, and his name is
Phillips.
Phillips. Yeah, that's all we know.
Or something like that.
Yeah, we don't know.
Very cool though.
We don't try real hard. So anyway, we're at the Uptown Theater, and this is the old-timey theater. I mean, I know you can't see it, but it's got the old ticket booth, and the overhead and the signs up there. The sign was in the B-roll, but Goofy's manning the ticket booth. But yeah, just like an old-timey. And then right there, Walt Disney's hometown bed and breakfast. That must be upstairs. Interesting. That's pretty much Main Street. I'm having a hard time talking because my lips are getting cold. But we have a little bit more. We're going to hop in the Jeep. I don't know if we're going to get something to eat here or not, but apparently if we show them our receipt down here. Oh my God. At the Corner Cafe, we get a free dessert. So we might stop in there and eat.
We might, yeah.
Yeah, we've already gone poor buying souvenirs at the museum, but whatever.
Oh my gosh, we did.
Whatever.
Anyway, yeah.
So we are going to leave you here, and we will meet back up with you at Walt's barn. We made it. We ate at Mauve Vic's Corner Cafe, which may have been the, if I remember the sign right, may have been the inspiration, that location. I don't know if it was always called Mauve Vic's, I have no idea. For the Coke Corner, maybe? Yeah, so yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, it's just burgers and, typical cafe stuff. Super, super friendly people.
Very much so.
Everyone in there was just super nice and friendly. Pretty much everyone since we left Colorado has been super friendly and nice and accommodating.
Yeah. Yeah, the
awesome.
ladies that worked at the museum were awesome too. They gave us a lot of really cool tips of places to come and see. So,
yeah,
really, really cool.
Yep.
And honestly, where we are right now is Walt Disney's home, and the owners of this, it's a private property, and they allow people to come in and do this from dawn until dusk. So it's amazing that they allow people that want to come here and experience this to come traipse on their property. I mean, it's just fantastic, and we really appreciate it. So thank you so much for allowing us to do this.
Yeah, Walt Disney's home is actually just a couple hundred yards off to our right, and Jen's looking at plants. It's totally different. It's the same house,
Yeah.
but it's been added onto and renovated and so on and so forth. So I mean, it doesn't look anything like, I mean, if you see an old picture of it, you can see the original part of the house, but I mean, there's other wings and stuff added to it. But yeah, the owners of that house let people, this is their property,
Yeah.
and they let people come here to see this.
Keep this area maintained and let people come here. It's pretty amazing.
So we are just now coming up to the son of Dreaming Tree. This is, well, let's see what it says. This sapling was planted by Walt's grandson. There is dirt from the Magic Kingdom in Disney World, and water from the rivers of America down there. So
Yeah, they mixed it together when they planted the tree.
Yes. Now it doesn't say anything here. Maybe it is there. I could have sworn this was taken from a cutting of the tree at Disney World. So I don't know for sure. I don't know. Go watch Justin Scart's video. He knows everything. But anyway, this is, I think it is. I think this is related to the original tree. If not, I've been saying that forever and I'm wrong.
No, it is. It said that it was. It's from the original tree.
What does it say that?
It said it at the museum. There was they talked about it.
So she just let me say all that, and she knew the answer all along. Oh my God. Just beyond the son of Dreaming Tree back there is where the original Dreaming Tree was. And they have this plaque. It was right back there. You can see. It's a very large tree. There's Walt Disney as an adult. And Roy Disney. Checking it out. So, pretty cool. I mean, it's just a tree, but still pretty cool. After reading the sign, it was not a cutting. There were 3 seeds from the original tree. One was planted right back there. Another one was planted at Disneyland on Tom Sawyer's Island, and a third tree was planted somewhere on the Disney family farm to preserve its historic legacy. So like one is hidden where nobody knows where it is, so it can't be damaged or whatever. So that's cool. Yeah, it was right here. I don't know. I do, if I remember right, when Justin Scard was here, it's the trunk of the tree was still laying on the ground. I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering that. But in any case, it was right back here. And, this is where Walt Disney used to come and hang out under that tree and dream. Hence the name Dreaming Tree. And that's where a lot of his inspiration and thoughts and stuff about life kind of took root. How about that? Took root. Since we're talking about trees, we'll use that. Is that a simile or a metaphor? I'm not sure. Jen had to run back to the Jeep. We brought a Sharpie because people signed the inside of the barn that we're about to see, and she put it in her purse, and then she didn't bring her purse. So there's the barn. This is not the actual barn that Walt Disney grew up with. According to the sign, held the pathetic circus that he charged his friends to see. His sister came out and told him to refund their money because it was so bad. This is a recreation commissioned and built here in 2001 for Walt's 100th birthday, based on the blueprints of the recreation in his home in California. That barn's gone. There's no blueprints of the original barn. This was basically a representation of Walt's memories of the barn, the best he could remember. So this is truly a recreation of a recreation. The barn is on the same property, and it's to the best of Walt's ability to remember, pretty much the same barn. Now you can go in here and sign your name if you want. Best wishes to Walt and Roy or whatever, but it does say all others would be removed. So any, I guess, self-promotion or, you know, Johnny loves Susie kind of stuff, don't do it. All right, here's the barn. It's not much. It's just the walls, gravel floor, but definitely cool place with all of the, you can see all the writing. It's absolutely everywhere. People have obviously climbed up into the rafters.
Yes,
There are signatures and messages all over the slats up top. Pretty much everywhere. It's gonna be tough to find a blank place to sign our name, but we will. We just walked down to the lake down here. It's really flooded. The path just goes into the water.
Yeah.
But you know, we showed you some of these trees, or you may have seen them. Many of these trees, according to a small sign in the barn, were planted by Disney legends. They don't say anything, but that's what that sign said in there. So that's cool. So we may have some famous Disney people, Imagineers, whatever, pilgrimage here to plant a tree and pay homage to Walt. Just like lots of other regular, normal human beings like us. We're gonna go over by the Son of Dreaming tree and dream for a while.
Yeah.
But we're gonna leave you here. So, that's our little tour of Marceline, Missouri, Walt's hometown, where he spent a good portion of his childhood.
And just so you know, he graduated from Marceline High School.
Ooh.
I saw his diploma at the museum.
Oh, wow. So there you go.
Yeah.
The town itself is very, very proud of their being Walt's hometown, and it's all over the place. And
Walt honestly was very proud of his time here. I mean, on his desk, they found a drawing that he had been drawing of an idea he had for recreating something from Marceline. So he loved it here.
Yeah, so it's a really beautiful area. Mm-hmm. And if you're a Disney fan, even a casual Disney fan, or just like history, this is an awesome place.
It's actually just kind of surreal. We're walking through this grass and I'm like, you know, Walt and Ruth and Roy and his other siblings ran around here and played, and it's very surreal and amazing at the same time. So
it's like walking around at Fort Clatsop in the footprints of Lewis and Clark.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing.
Exactly.
With that, we are going to hang out here a while without you guys, so we're going to let you go. And Jen is going to say her thing.
So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for all your amazing support and comments, and we'll see you all down the road. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.